What up guys, how you guys doing? I'm Talis and we're back with another how to slice. In today's how to slice video, we're going to be checking out some awesome bird houses. So let's go to the video. So this is the barn bird house. As you can see, this is a really nice model. And in this video, we're going to be checking out the best print settings to print it. So let's go. As you can see right here, we got multiple models. So if you take a look, we got the back cover, the front cover, and in front of the name, we got the color that is suggested. So feel free to use the suggestions because it will look really nice your model after printed. So as you can see, this model is for monocolor printers. So you can be printing in different build plates to get a good matching color print. So you can print just the yellow, just right here, this part in yellow, so it will look quite nice, and then print the rings in green. So this is fantastic to get a really nice multicolored part on a monocolor printer. So we're going to be printing all of the models in the same with the same settings, so we do not need to worry with different settings at all. So let's go to the print settings. Right here on layer height, we're going to be printing this model at 0.16 millimeters. This way, we're going to be reducing the layer height. It's going to have more layers to print. It's going to take more time to print, but we're going to have a finer and better quality. So this is great. It's a good exchange. Over here on vertical shelves, we're going to be leaving at 3 just so we can get a really dense and really rigid model so our house, our little bird house doesn't break. Going over to infill, we're going to be increasing to 10% infill in a gyroid infill pattern. Gyroid is really nice because it's a really tough infill and reduces the chance of your print failing while printing the infill. Right here on skirt and brim, this model does not need any brim. All of the parts got a good surface of contact to the build plate. But if you have some issues, let's say on this part right here, you can be adding brim. But first off, I do recommend, if you have some bad adhesion issues, I do recommend always cleaning your build plate with some isopropyl alcohol or detergent just to get a good surface and clean surface to print on. So always clean your build plate. That's going to help a lot, and make sure that your printer is really well leveled. So we're not going to be adding any brim. As for support material, we're going to be adding support material just to these two rings right here. So let's do that right now. We're going to be support painting our supports. So first off, we're going to be selecting the first ring. As you can see, if we increase the highlight by overhang, we're going to see the areas. Actually, this is showing the area that needs support and the area that is touching the build plate. So we're just going to be adding some support right here on this part. We're not going to be adding right here because this is going to be touching the build plate. If you try to add, I don't think Prusa will allow you, but as you can see, you can just paint around all of these parts. It will look quite nice. And if you paint something wrong right here on this part right here, we do not you do not need to be too precise, because if it goes over right here, we're going to be using a not a organic support. We're going to be using grid support, so it's not even going to touch on this upper part right here. What you can do is just select shift, and by this you can be erasing if you paint something wrong. But as you can see, I have painted something wrong. We do not need to get a really clean print because we're going to be using a grid support, and it's not going to change too much. So we can do the same to the other ring. Print. You do not need to be. You can paint a little bit. It doesn't have to be really certain. You're gonna get a good quality support. Just make sure right here. I'm gonna be erasing just to look quite clean, but it doesn't have to be really nicely. So let's add the settings for our support that we have painted. So as you can see, we have painted, so we're not going to be auto-generating support because we painted it. So going over right here, we're going to be selecting grid, not organic. the tree version, we're going to be selecting grid because this is a flat part, and on flat parts, grid, it's a really nice support material and style to utilize. So we're going to be selecting grid. So if you have painted a little bit messy on the top of the part, it's not going to add any support in that region. So using grid is fantastic. What you can do is on top interface layers, reduce to 2 so it's easier to remove. This is quite fine. On speed, we can be printing at the standard print speed. We do not need to reduce any of this value. It's quite nice, the standard value, especially for Bambu Lab printers. Just make sure that you got a good first layer, a really low value first layer, because the first layer is the most important layer. All of the other layers are going to go on top of this one, so make sure you got a good and well printed first layer. So this is quite nice. Let's just slice this build plate, and all of the other models can be printed with the same exact configuration. And now we're going to be taking a look at the support we have painted. So as you can see, I have sliced. It's going to take 8 hours and 7 minutes to print. I reordered right here, rearranged the models because all of the supports were touching. So I rearranged so it looks quite nice. As you can see, we got a grid support material because this part is flat. This is going to help a lot to create a really nice part to print on. So this looks fantastic. If we go down the layers, you see that right here the support connects really nicely with our part. So we're going to have a good quality print. All of the other parts look quite nicely, and they're going to print really well. So grab a really nice film that you have laying around and print these models right now because it's fantastic. Find some birds to give a new home to. So the models are ready to print. Make sure to check out stlflix.com for more models like this one, and I'll see you in another one.
I hope you guys enjoy it. Those slicing videos are an initiative from STL Academy, which is the educational project from STLFlix. So if you guys want to learn more about 3D printing, you could check our description and look at STL Academy courses. And don't forget, see you guys at the next slicing.